Hello friends, this is Chalpesh here and welcome again to my channel Code with Jerry. So I'm going to start a new series about the Python language which is called Python Basics, and it will be more than 10 videos there in this particular series. So we are going to learn about the Python in this series, which is a fantastic language. So let's see the agenda for this video. Here is our agenda. So basically, first we are going to learn about what is Python. Then we are going to see where we can use the Python, and then we are going to see who is using Python, and then we are going to see our learning path. Basically, I am going to demonstrate that how many episode will be there and what are the things we are going to learn in this particular learning path. So, what is Python? So, Python is general programming language and it is created by Guido in 1989. It is a high-level interpreted general-purpose programming language, including structure, object-oriented, and functional programming. It is open source, so you can see the actual Python code on GitHub and other platforms. It emphasizes on the code readability. Basically, like it is very easy to learn, and while looking at the code itself, you can see like what it means to say or the how the code works. It is platform independent, so it can be used on Windows, Mac, Linux, or even in the IoT devices also. So as I told you, like it is very easy to understand. You can choose as your first programming language. It is dynamically typed and case sensitive. What is the dynamically typed? So basically, you don't need to create a variable type for Python. Like it will automatically interpreted based on the value, just like in JavaScript. And it is also a case sensitive, so like if you define a variable a equal to 10 in small, and if you define variable a equal to 10 in capital, like both variables are different. It is a object oriented language and it supports all the principles of object oriented programming, i.e. inheritance, function overloading, etc. And the most important thing I like about the Python is you don't need to write curly braces. Instead of that, it uses indentation for understanding the control structure or loop structure. As I told you, like it is dynamically typed, so you don't need to declare variable. You can use it via assigning the value. Then it contains the automatic memory management. So all the garbage collection and all the things is handled by its interpreter, and you don't need to worry about those things. In this slide, we are going to learn like where you can use the Python. So basically, we can create like variety of applications with Python. So you can create console app, you can create desktop application, you can also create web applications, and you can see Flask and Django is very popular among the development. Then there are a couple of game engines available, so you can use it for game development. And as you know, like it is very much in use for machine learning and artificial intelligence. Then you can create IoT applications. You can also create data analytics, and there are some lots of libraries available to analyze your data with the help of Python. Then also you can create the blockchain applications with the Python. So those all things are done by Python. Now, who uses the Python? So, like as you can say, like almost all the tech giant companies are using Python. So, like Google is using for Google search. Even YouTube itself has been created in Python, and still there are some parts of YouTube are there in Python. Then Dropbox uses. It is also used in Quora, Instagram, Spotify, Netflix, Reddit. So there are tons of companies which are using Pythons. And recently, like it is very popular for data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So Python is not going anywhere. though it is a quite old language, but it is still very much in the demand. Now we are going to see what are the learning path for this particular web series or video series. So here we are going to see or learn the Python 3.0, so which is the Python version. So there will be a 15 episode of the Python basic series. So first episode will be an introduction to Python. Here we are like we are already like talking about the Python in this particular video. So this is our first episode. Then in the second episode we are going to talk about the how we can set up the Python and how we can set up the desktop environment with the Windows subsystem for Linux and Visual Studio Code. Then in episode 3 we are going to talk about the data types of Python. So we are going to see what are the primitive data types available in the Python and some are the complex data type. Then in episode 4 we are going to talk about the conditional structures, where we are going to see how we can write conditional structures like if else if and other stuffs. Then in episode 5 we are going to talk about the loops. Here we are going to explore different kind of loops like for loops, while loop available in the Python. Then in episode 6 we are going to talk about the functions in the Python. So here we can see different types of functions like and the function overloading and few other aspects of the functions in the Python, and how you can create functions in Python and how you can pass those argument and few other stuffs in the Python. Then in episode 7, we are going to talk about classes, and here we are going to talk about classes, how to create classes in Python. Then we are going to talk about constructors and destructors in classes. Then in episode 8, we are going to see modules, and we are going to see how we can use the inbuilt modules or system modules which are available like date time, and then we can see how we can create our modules and we can use it in the Python. Then in episode 9 we are going to see how we can handle the error or exceptions occurred in the code, and then in episode 10 we are going to see how we can do the string manipulations like string concatenation or substring and lots of other string operations in episode 10. Then in episode 11 we are going to talk about the string formatting. Then in episode 12 we are going to talk about the inheritance, which is a concept of object oriented programming, and we are going to see different types of inheritance available in the Python. Then in episode 13 we are going to talk about arrays, where we are going to see how we can add elements in array in Python or how we can remove the elements in array, and as well as we are going to talk about different functions available with the arrays. Then in episode 14 we are going to talk about the complex type called list, and here also same, like there are different operations or functions available for list, so we are going to talk about and learn about those things. Then in episode 15 we are going to learn about tuples in Python. So these are the 15 episodes with lots of information, so stay tuned for this series, and I am going to release those videos one by one soon. So stay tuned for this series, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please do subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching this video. See you in the next video, where we are going to talk about the Python setup and development environment. Thanks for watching.